During one night, Flo slipped away in her sleep with my wife and her daughter holding her hand. My 2-year-old daughter knew something we didn't know in natural, spoken story of present but removed choppy phrasing, and filler but made sentences flow, and very length. As the family had known me from childhood, we went upstairs to her room and she wouldn't cross the landing. I picked her up and asked her what was wrong, and she narration. But he would always face the same spot on the wall, but I checked the attic, but nothing story. My son keeps talking to the man in the wall, and I'm starting to hear things too. Okay, so this is going to sound insane, but I need to get this out somewhere because my wife thinks I'm losing it. About a month after we moved in, he started this thing where he would stand in the hallway outside his room and just talk. At first, we thought imaginary friend, whatever kids do that. Oscar's roommate had a long-term girlfriend, and they weren't very understanding towards Oscar, kicking him out at least once a week. I found a list of instructions on how to survive the entity. The entity was me. I had to reread the title a few times until I finally believed what I was reading, but yeah, that was my name, alright. I retrieved a Diet Mountain Dew from my mini fridge, letting the tasty bubbles glide down my throat as I scrolled lower down the page. My dorm room lights were off, and my laptop screen provided the only reprieve from the all-encompassing darkness, yet it was a normal Friday night. My random dorm mate, Ethan, was probably at some seedy bar, passing off his fake ID and trying to talk to women. Thank God, he wasn't more successful, or else I would have had to endure the same number of textiles that my only real friend Oscar had to. I pushed for him to talk to residential life, but he promised me they wouldn't do anything about it. Then I looked back at my screen. I spent a lot of Friday nights scrolling this site, losing myself in all the fun and scary stories people made up, so this article, though, was different. It had been uploaded only a few hours ago, and it was talking about a new deadly entity, me. Asterisk, born in 2007, this entity is classified as highly erratic and dangerous, with several confirmed kills as well as numerous other suspected deaths. If one wishes to avoid certain danger, the following steps must be followed. Asterisk, 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 asterisk 1. So do not look into its eyes. Asterisk, 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 his pupils dilate when he's curious, releasing a pheromone that makes it tempting to stare. Warning, his eyes may not always be in the same place on his face, yet asterisk, 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 asterisk 2. If you hear a rattle on click, he is near, so asterisk, 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 play dead. You must have your face pointing towards the sky, eyes closed. If you are inside, do everything in your power to get outside before it's too late, and asterisk, 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 asterisk 3. If your arm hair follicles dig deeper into your skin, he is flying overhead. Asterisk, 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 it will feel extremely uncomfortable, maybe even painful, depending on how hairy your arms are, but this is a natural evolutionary reaction for survival. It might be wise to trim some of your arm hair, but it would be a mistake to trim them all, as you will lose this line of defense, so asterisk, 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 asterisk 4. Near asterisk, 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 the screen went white, asterisk site no longer found, asterisk. I blinked down at my screen in disgust. Yet was this some sort of weird joke, some creative project? Some sort of Chrome extension that changed the name and year for whoever was reading the article? Was one of my friends from high school playing some stupid prank? Then I pressed refresh at least 5 times, but I tried a different browser. And I tried my phone, but no success. My phone buzzed to life, a phone call from Oscar. I went and turned on my light, a little too paranoid to still be chilling in the dark. But hello. I croaked, yeah, yo dude, you down to smoke? Emmett and his girlfriend already took over the room. I hesitated before answering. Oscar, yeah. What's up, bro? Do you mind looking something up for me really fast? After a short pause. Why can't you look it up? It's not working on my phone or laptop. I'm not sure if it will be any different, but I guess I can check something out. Thanks, bro. Can you look up? I told him the name of the site. He had me spell it out for him. Sorry, what? Oscar responded. The site won't load on my phone either. Then what is that site even? Sounds weird. I'll tell you about it later. Want to meet up at our usual spot? I see you there. He replied before hanging up. Then I grabbed a coat. Oscar and I went to school in Washington, and it got a little chilly this time of year. I was still a little on edge from the website, but figured I would have a lot of that edge melt away in about 30 minutes when I saw Oscar. I debated siphoning all some of Ethan's vodka in a water bottle, but decided against it. Furthermore, I think he was still suspicious the last time I did that. Oscar and I had found a nice patch of woods that weren't monitored during our first month on campus. It was only around 15 minutes from my dorm and just under 20 from Oscar's. I popped in some AirPods and strolled over to the woods, trying to find a logical explanation for the website. Ultimately, I decided it wasn't worth the stress as I arrived at our spot, an area dimly lit by a few streetlights, but still giving us our anonymity. Hey, just got to the spot. I texted Oscar. I sat on the grass, refreshing the site with still no luck, when I heard feet shuffling nearby. But Oscar. I asked aloud. There was no response as I heard it getting louder. Yeah, dog, who's there? I stuttered. I saw Oscar's red curls push into my field of vision. He was shaking, but gave a sympathetic smile. Sorry about that. Were you trying to find me? He replied, plopping down on the grass next to me. You got the stuff? I asked, maybe a little too eagerly, bordering on impatiently. What was with that website earlier? Oscar said abruptly. Oh, I felt my face blushing. I can tell you all about it while we smoke. I forced out a chuckle. I think we should check it again, right? There was no humour in Oscar's voice. We definitely can, later, we have all night. My heart started beating more rapidly, so let's just check it now, Oscar commanded. At that moment, I realized he didn't seem to have come with his usual backpack of supplies. I anxiously reached for my phone and reloaded the site. What does it say now? Oscar inquired with a grin. The site seemed to have come back to life, so I started to speak aloud. Yeah, asterisk 4, and never ask a question, then asterisk, he can only ask questions. Speak in definitive statements when speaking to the entity. Asterisk, my left arm began to twitch, itchy at first, until I suddenly felt a sharp pain spreading deep into my skin. Oh, I cried out, seizing my arm with my other hand. Are you okay? Oscar's eyes twinkled as he dipped his head closer. I'm fine, it's just I rubbed my arm, so I looked down at my skin. I couldn't see my hair, but it felt like little needles were pricking my arm, so I looked back down at my screen, asterisk 3. If your arm hair follicles dig deeper into your skin, he is flying overhead, then asterisk, I looked up in a panic, so then I heard it. Backslash asterisk rattle backslash asterisk backlash asterisk click backslash asterisk Oscar. Play dead, close your eyes, just play dead, close your eyes. I said in a frantic panic. You are acting weird, don't you think? I didn't care what he thought. I rolled over on my stomach, forcing my eyes shut, not moving a muscle, yet I felt my lip trembling. Oscar, don't ask any questions, we can't ask any questions. I peeked out with one eye towards him. He was still sitting upright, looking at me with confusion, but I heard something stomp in your eye. Asterisk Oscar, please, for the love of God, just do what I say, then asterisk, hey, who are you? Oscar asked. Backslash asterisk rattle backslash asterisk click backslash asterisk, don't you recognize me? Their voice felt familiar, something I only heard in videos of myself or voice memos. Your eyes. Oscar replied before I heard a rush of intense breathing, but I heard something thud on the ground. I lay there motionless for 5 minutes as the stomping seemed to circle our patch before I didn't hear any more noises, yet I peeked towards where Oscar had been, but he was gone. Oscar, I can't see you. I whisper shouted, so I carefully crept up to my feet, pulling my phone out to finish the article and asterisk 5. If a friend disappears with the entity near, the entity has grabbed them, so asterisk they will still appear, but do not trust them, but do not reason with them, then do not contact the police. Return home within an hour, and if the article cut off, not because of a site crash this time, just the article literally stopped and I looked out into the forest. I saw Oscar about 50 feet away, his face basked in the light. His head was jolted to the side, eyes rolled up towards the sky, mouth open. His hands were held straight out to the side as if he were being crucified on a cross. I took a few paces backwards from him as I saw his whole body start to shake. Oscar's jaw began to unhinge, stretching wider than any human mouth should open. A grey arm suddenly pushed out from between his teeth, fingers baying as they gripped the corner of his mouth from the inside. The flesh of his cheeks pulled taut, straining like rubber about to snap, and it didn't snap, yet it just kept stretching. Another arm thrust out, this one gripping Oscar's lower jaw, wrenching it down further. His mouth yawned open impossibly wide, his face distorting as the skin around his lips and cheeks stretched paper thin, almost translucent. Then a head emerged, pale grey, bulbous, with eyes that didn't belong in any socket I recognized. It pushed through Oscar's gaping mouth, and as it did, Oscar's entire face stretched around it like a latex mask being pulled over a balloon, yet Oscar's body began to collapse inward, deflating. His arms and torso seemed to fold and compress as the entity pulled itself free, using his stretched skin like a discarded costume it was peeling off from the inside. The body crumpled to the ground in a heap of loose, empty flesh, boneless, flattened, like clothes left on the forest floor. The grey skin faded into the same orangish pale as mine. The entity sprouted raven black hair, the unique trait my mom would use to spot me in a crowd of people. In the half second before I looked away and sprinted, it was clear, yet that was me, then, but it was wrong. The sight said I had an eye, but I made it back to my dorm faster than I ever had before. It was probably chasing me. I didn't bother looking back. Then I heard my voice, floating behind me. Anna, can't you just turn around? Don't you want to meet? When I got back to the dorm, I nearly barreled over people in the hallway. I didn't care what they thought of me, I had to get back. I ripped open my dorm door before slamming it shut. Ethan was sitting on his bed, a Miller Lite in hand. "Dude, what's wrong with you?" He slurred out, yet I didn't bother to answer. I raced over to my laptop, clicked refresh, and scrolled down to the author. I clicked his profile and typed out, *here article stopped, then the entity as my name, and it got my friend. Yet it's chased me. How do I escape it? *I prayed for a response as Ethan continued to ramble on with questions. My heart kept pounding as tears began to well up in my eyes. Not my eyes shot towards the door. I looked over at Ethan as he slowly turned his body and rose to his feet. Yet Ethan, don't answer that door. I screamed. He looked at me in confusion as he took a sloppy step forward. I swear to God, Ethan, I cried out, you answer that door and we both are going to die. Ethan hesitated before flopping back into his bed. Ethan looked longingly at the door. Yes, I did too. Even though I knew what monster was waiting behind that door, something in me wanted to, needed to open it. Ethan shot back up and rushed towards the door. I tackled him, easily overpowering him in his drunken stupor. I heard something in the hallway stomp away. Yet stop being a freak, what's wrong with you? He asked as I sat over him, yet I heard my laptop ding.